Journey of music, it started, it's like I first had a computer, yeah, and then started fiddling with it, knowing how to fix it, know how to like install operating system. Then now I started DJing with the computer because I started collecting like a lot of music, so I could play. Then now I got introduced to this program called Fruity Loops. That's where everything changed. Because if you're looking at a tattoo thing, this tattoo thing.
DJ Maphorisa is one of the most influential artists in South African music history ever. His versatility has helped him create some of the most iconic songs, and it also kept him relevant for a very long time. He has broke massive records in the industry, released multi-platinum selling records, played in some of the biggest concerts around the world, and of course, he broke countless musicians in the industry. But this video is not about his achievements. We put together this video to explore his creative side, how he makes the music, what inspires him, how he impacted other artists' creative processes, and more. Make sure you watch the whole video in order to understand the method behind Phori's creative world, straight from the mouth of people like Kwesta, Kabza the Small, Moonchild Sanelly, and more. Lord Phori came into the game as a member of house group called Uhuru, which was signed by Kalawa Jazzmere Records. On Podcast and Chill with McG, Kalawa Jazzmere CEO Oskido said Maphorisa loved the studio, and at the time he was signed to Kalawa, he was always in the studio. Oskido said he used to chase him out of the studio multiple times because he was always working and not giving other producers a chance. During his time at Kalawa, he was responsible for producing multiple hits for artists such as DJ Zinhle, Busiswa, Uhuru, Dr. Malinga, Mafikizolo, just to name a few. After leaving Kalawa Jazzmere, he established his own record label, Black Boy Music, and he signed artists such as Mlindo the Vocalist, Zinga, and Something Soweto. Even when he went independently, he never stopped working hard, and in fact, he also started working smarter. He did this by constantly collaborating with other producers and artists. One of the things that sets Phori apart is his ability to collaborate across genres. He has produced house songs, gqom, afrobeats, pop, amapiano, and rap songs. Here's Kwesta talking about how Phori created his breakthrough single, Ngutu.
When we worked on the album, Daka 2, we all knew like we had to kind of work with Phori because already even at that time, his track record was insane, you know.
So I'm a fan of house music, right? So the sample I took there, it was one of the hot songs. Like that song was really pumping in the hood.
So Masqala, bro, I was sleeping, you know, when Phori was working on that beat.
I took that sample, I slowed it down, Kairang, and then I gave it a feel quite, you know, like was speaking because, you know, influence was speaking also.
But Phori's inspiration not only comes from kwaito or sampling house music. In fact, he also chops vocals and gives life to them by adding his musical touches to the records. Zinga said he once found Phori working on an instrumental in studio. He then went onto the mic and started recording some random things and later left the session. Phori stayed in studio and chopped his vocal and created the gqom song called Ongcamnce. Moonchild Sanelly says Phori also chopped her vocals and created the song Make.
Called by Theo from Mafikizolo to come help them with the song. They just heard Midnight Staring. And obviously they didn't know my catalog. And so when I got there, they wanted something that's more like Midnight Staring. And I'm just like, oh, I think I've got a whole well. But it's fine. I just recorded Make to that song. I didn't make it to the album, but the vocals were there. Next thing, Shimza has a song, he feels it's incomplete, goes to Phori. Phori's like, his vocals will finish it. And then next thing, I'm being tagged on Twitter because it's playing on Metro. And Shimza debuted it, but it's not out yet officially. And it's just like, now I'm getting tags about this new song. I also don't remember what I wrote, but I know it's got to do with Michaela because you're always just writing a whole lot of songs. And that's how it happened. And Mike is literally still like the big one.
We obviously cannot talk about Phori without mentioning his massive contribution to the Amapiano movement. Pori jumped ship from Gqom to being a full-on amapiano artist in late 2019 with the Scorpion King joint album with Kabza the Small. His art skills expanded when he started making piano, and he continued collaborating and breaking more and more artists.
Kanda Shisa was actually my official birthday present from Maphorisa, actually, because after spending the whole night talking, my nigga there just drops the beat, you know. And I heard this thing and I was like, damn man, like that lock drum was knocking, you know. This is like 4 songs down now. We've probably made like a bunch of joints, but like this one comes on. All the stuff that we've done tonight. Can I please have this one? I'm Gaba Korea. Yeah, I'm Fanaga. You don't try. In the beginning, he was the one that came up with the idea of chopping and screwing the Kanda Shisa to begin with. Because me, I was just saying, Kanda Shis. He's like, yeah, I believe at least the faster you pitch it down, little condor shoes. And then then it evolves as like a chant. So that's how that song came about. It was my birthday and I was about to go home.
His contribution to the piano movement has led to increase in streaming result. As a result, major labels ended up buying online aggregators like Universal Music buying Electro Mode, Warner Music buying Africore, and Apple Music buying Platoon.
Piano is more to like what the chord and whatever. Piano is more smoother, it's more friendlier also. And then piano is flexible. It's kind of hard, but at the same time maybe sweeter. And then, you know.
Because Pori knows and understands his sound and what he's going for when he's in the studio, he doesn't settle for less. Listen to Kabza the Small talking about how Pori made him change the song Sponono 3 times.
Collaboration?
Yeah, Sponono.
Because
that's Pinelo perfect, did you? And Oscar Pinela rechange high 3.
Yeah, and nothing. In Jimmy City,
na phone le di vocal hore ke tse serious so ke taba re change tsa hapaya ene on changes di chord hapaya on changes the drum loop hapaya.
Pori does not limit himself as a creative person. In 2021, he started rapping on songs under the alias Matumane. Many people believe Sizwe Alakain is his ghostwriter, but nonetheless, his ability to keep exploring his creative side is amazing. When it comes to Pori's studio session, one thing seems to be consistent no matter who's in the studio working with him. Every detail matters in the song. His frequent collaborator and close friend Kabza the Small said he was very surprised when he saw Pori behind the mic for the first time.
Next side cover na lo tsena yana mo mic mo create.
Oh, go for the idea.
The first time when I spot lo ke shoot which one is this one? So next side try la right. Next side try lo re. Ona lo tsena ga mo mic mo ope.
Being a great artist with good ears has enabled Pori to identify and mold talent. But one thing people overlook is the fact that Pori is not only a good producer or executive, but dope A&R. Over the past 3 years, he's discovered more than 10 artists that are currently running the game. In my opinion, he's the best A&R in the country.
Pori lets you be like whatever you're into, he works around it. He gets to understand you and your sound, and then he works around that. So it's a very, very inspiring environment because there's no resting. Like you rest at 5 a.m. because there's like not even because you're forced to, but like there's just so much creative energy going on. One song after the other, like concepts everywhere. Like you get concepts from conversations in the house.
Even though Pori takes his craft seriously, he is always having fun in the studio. Zinga says Pori even cooks during studio sessions, and he has been praised for having a great hospitality. But one of the most impressive things about Pori is that he is not afraid of experimenting with sounds, unlike other artists who like to play it safe. And this mentality comes from his never-ending love for music.
Yeah, but if like I'll be down and go to Pori's house. Like Pori's house has probably 90% of niggas' songs there, just chilling or just being made in that house. You know what I mean?
But overall, Pori is a student of the game and connoisseur of music, someone who constantly pushes the sonic boundaries that exist within the music world, and I don't think it's a stretch to say he will ultimately go down as one of the most influential people in South African music history. Even if he can stop making music right now, he released enough material that will last a lifetime. His production credits include Wizkid, Drake, Major Lazer, Black Coffee, among other artists. For Wave Entertainment, I am Kepitizi. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Let us know in the comment section which song you would have loved to see Pori making in the studio. Let us know which other artists we should cover on this series. And lastly, check out some of my music in the description. Until next time, peace.